Hey everybody, how you doing? We have another community spotlight going on today, and today I am with Nick Sandoval.
What's up, Andy?
And he is one of the lender extraordinaires that I work with. And we're going to talk a little bit about his personal life. We're in Oxford today, and that is your community, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, I want you to tell us a little bit about your business and your family and what's going on. So why don't we start on the personal side?
Sure.
Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so again, I'm Nick Sandoval. I work with Cross Country Mortgage. I've lived in Pennsylvania for quite some time. I lived in Delaware County for the better part of a decade. I lived in Brookhaven, awesome community, raised my kids there. Moved to Oxford in 2021, and think we are probably going to be here for quite some time. So yeah.
You're getting pretty rooted.
Yeah. Made a lot of good friends, met a lot of really great people out here, and I've said it before, but this is the first place that I lived that I really felt like I was at home.
That you're part of it.
Yeah.
It's a great town and it's growing. I mean,
It
we got
is.
a lot of businesses that are really starting to pick up. We're in one right now. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah.
But tell me about your business. What's going on in the mortgage world right now? Everything's kind of up in the air and crazy.
Chaos,
Yeah.
insanity. So in the 22 years that I've done this, I have never seen a market like the market that we're currently in. So that would be the first thing that I would say. It's been tough. I think the last couple of years have been tough. We are still seeing, relatively low inventory, not as low as it was. Everything is still super expensive. Interest rates are still elevated.
Still up, yeah.
So it's a challenging market. It's a great time for people who do what you do and people that do what I do to get out there and really try to make an impact where they can and grab as much market share. We're seeing a lot of people that are not renewing. So I know realtor renewals were down.
They are down.
On our side, renewals were down because people quickly learned that real estate is a relationship business. It's not a transaction business.
Yes.
There are times in this industry where you get into it and it's easier to make money. And this can be a great industry to make money in when times are really
Market's
good.
the market.
Market's the market.
Absolutely.
The last couple of years have been difficult. And if you don't have those established relationships and you don't know, if you're not good at what you're doing, it becomes very hard and the runway gets really short.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. My dad was in the business for years and years. I've been, I'm 39 years now in the business. I've seen a couple ups and downs.
Yes,
but
yes, you have.
the rates, you talk about the rates and things. And I can remember in my 20s when my dad was coaching me, it was all about go down to the diner. Go down and sit at the diner. Somebody's going to walk in, have a conversation, get to know people, and it's so interesting because with all the systems and the scripts and the coaching and this and that, it all comes full circle back to building relationships, and that's
really does.
why I love doing these interviews, and that's why I love the business that I do because it's a stressful business no matter what. But when you have people that you're working with that want to be working with you and want to have a relationship with you. The referrals are stronger, the deals are easier to work with because everybody kind of knows. So I think that organic, authentic side of things is even more important now than it's probably ever been. So
yeah, no, I agree. It really comes down to that. And, we're talking about housing. So this is where people call home. And, the longer you do it, the more weight that statement carries, right? Like, this is home. So when I first started my career a long time ago, this is actually really the first job I got out of college, and a buddy got me placed. Shout out to Jeff Gluck. Jeff, thanks, man. He was working at a company that you might remember called AmeriQuest.
yeah. Yes.
And one of their managers left, and she was starting a team at a different company. And I had just graduated college, wasn't really sure if I was going to go back and work on my master's degree or what I was going to do. So I interviewed, took the job, didn't know what I was doing, and in the beginning it was very transactional because you're drinking from a fire hose. You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
But as your career goes on and on and on, and you see the impact of what we do, how it has that on a family, the job
personal
takes
side.
on a different kind of meaning. And I think there's a lot of hope and inspiration in that, where you crest over a certain threshold where you're like, okay, I'm 100% in this for my client, and making home and making sure that you work in your community. I don't want to see somebody a year from now and be like, hey, how is everything? How's the house? And they're like,
Right.
worst decision I ever made.
Right.
So you take that at a really serious level the longer that you get into this this career. So I'm blessed to have been able to do this for so long.
And it's a sales business, so I mean that comes with the territory. But building those relationships and having that trust and that connection
Yeah, it's awesome.
it makes you better at what you do.
It's awesome. I mean, so many
Yeah.
of my clients have become friends.
Yeah.
Like we talk to each other years and years after
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fact.
That's
Yeah.
the
Actually,
cool
just
stuff.
helped somebody move into my neighborhood. It was awesome. Yeah. So I got new neighbors.
I love when I get a kid from one of my clients, from one of my
Yes,
past
yes,
clients. Like
yes.
that's a really good feather in the cap. Any family members like that, it's all cool stuff. So
Yeah.
loving what we do. So community, let's talk a little bit about community. I know you're involved with a lot of stuff down here. What's going on right now?
Yeah, so Oxford, I would say, is it's a unique community. It's a really strong community. We're fortunate that we have a lot of amazing organizations out here. Everything from housing and food assistance to mental health assistance. So one of the organizations that we have is right here in town called the Lighthouse Youth Center. My daughter goes there. She goes there all the time, and I cannot say enough about that organization. They provide a safe place for kids to go after school. They can get help with homework. They can play sports. They can get a meal, and it's just kind of a hub for those kids to go and have something to do after school.
That's really cool because a
It's
lot of
really
parents
cool.
are both working too.
That's right.
It's a different
Yeah,
situation.
and they get
for
to
a lot
have
of
food,
kids.
and they can take some food home sometimes,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful organization. Our Oxford Neighborhood Services is another wonderful organization that I do
That's
my
what you were
best to help
talking
with.
about earlier today.
Yeah, I
right?
was just there earlier today.
Right.
Unfortunately, they've had some really massive changes to their funding with some of the changes that have happened with the government.
Yes.
So they're struggling to put it all together and keep it together because they provide, I don't even know the numbers right now, but the amount of food assistance that they provide is astronomical for our community. They also do things like, job placement. They help with resumes. You can get kind of like a caseworker to help you with all sorts of stuff, even when people are in need of paying a utility bill or something like that.
Right.
I also work with the Oxford Area Civic Association. I'm on their board, and that is a really wonderful organization. It's very low key. A lot of people don't even know that it exists. And really, our job function, we do one major event a year, which is called the Hunger Help Walk. We do that in October, and we raise money specifically for food for neighborhood services, our food pantry, and the Lighthouse Youth Center.
Fantastic.
They
It's all
also
intertwined.
they write a lot of grants for the local nonprofits. So there's just so many different things. I'm super happy to help whenever the opportunity comes, but you know how it gets. You get busy.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows in the
Yes.
industry. So I
Yes.
like to fill the downtime that I have with helping those organizations, and
Yeah.
and then inevitably you get busy again. But every time you walk back in, it's like open arms.
So if anybody wants to jump in on anything in Oxford, Nick is definitely the guy to speak to. We will have all of your contact information below
Yeah,
here,
man.
so we'll be able to touch base, whether it's helping for mortgages or maybe something community.
Yeah. Before I forget,
fantastic, yeah.
shout out to Holy Grounds. We're here
Right
having
on.
coffee. This is kind of like our community square.
Yeah, this spot is awesome. This is like the living room right here.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
awesome. No,
I love it.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, gang, thanks a lot. Thanks for paying attention again, and look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Thanks,
Take care.
Andy.
Yep.